Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, that's me. Boop, boop, Debsy. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a, if not great, then good week. Mine's okay. So listen, last night I watched 2 reality shows. That was The Bachelorette. It moved back to its normal time at 8 o'clock. And then Claim to Fame. We're going to break down The Bachelorette and do a little recap, see what happened. So let's get ready, everybody. Ooh, bingo arms. Okay, so let's get ready, everybody. And we're recapping Bachelorette. So this week, they were in New Orleans. I'm kind of wondering why they're not going overseas or they're not going to Europe or anything like that, because next week is hometown. So I was kind of wondering, but they were in New Orleans. Let me tell you, New Orleans, went there. I went there, it was before Katrina, and such a fabulous city. The food is amazing. The food is my favorite. The people are so friendly. Architecture is beautiful. Just a lovely city with great people. So they were in New Orleans. The first one-on-one goes to Joey. Everybody, all the guys are sitting outside at a cafe. I believe it was Cafe Beignet. They're all sitting outside. Charity comes up, they talk to her, and then this horse and carriage pulls up, and Charity lets them know it's a one-on-one, and that is with Joey. They take a romantic ride down to Jackson Square. Jackson Square is like right there at the river. It's it's actually my personal favorite part of the city because it's real relaxed. But they take a carriage ride down to Jackson Square. Listen, I'm not that big a fan of the carriage rides with the horses. I don't know. We're not going to get into it. But anyways, so they go down there, they walk around, taking the sights. Listen, I'm going to tell you, typically I'm not a fan of poetry, but they sat down with this guy. He asked them questions. He had this little manual typewriter, typed out a poem. And I thought it was beautiful. I thought it sounded like something that could be said at like a wedding. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it was really nice. I liked how comfortable they were with each other. So then they went to dinner. Charity had brought up the question of interracial relationships. How are you with it? Do you feel like you could handle it? And he had said that his family believes that love is love, and really what matters is on the inside. Absolutely. That should be how everybody thinks about it. Should think about love. And he did say he's never been in an interracial relationship, and it may be tough, but together they can handle anything. And he says he's falling in love with her. She says she's falling in love with him, and he gets the rose. So Charity will be meeting Joey's family. Now, back at the hotel, Tanner says he's feeling overlooked. He's really the only one who hasn't had any one-on-one time. Sean did not have a one-on-one date like dedicated to him, but he did have that little mini date after he won the Barbie challenge. So there's a date card. Everybody's hoping that they get the one-on-one. It's not a one-on-one. It's a 2-on-1. It's for Sean and Tanner. Charity says, meet me in the bayou. They go on this, before they go on this one-on-one date, Sean's pissed because he just has no idea of how this is going to work. Well, typically, here's how it works. 2 guys go in, one gets a rose, and one goes home. But he doesn't know why he's not getting a one-on-one, an exclusive one-on-one. So they go on this gator tour, and it's a real good thing that Sean decided to wear his play cashmere and not his fancy cashmere sweater. He just wore his play cashmere. So they get on the boat. There's this guy, I don't want to say swamp master, this guy who does the tours. Listen, Sean then says exactly something that I would think that somebody like Sean would say. Sean says, "We have an alligator on our golf course." That's what he says. I just don't like him. He gives me that whole country club vibe of like, we had an alligator until my father reported it. Do you know my father is alligator? That's what it gets me. That's what it gets me. So they eat some crawfish, and I don't know. I feel like Sean, although was trying to step it up a little bit, because they said goodnight, they said goodbye, but then Sean comes back, kisses her, and I thought, oh, come on, Tanner, you gotta step this shit up. So for the dinner with the boys at the night part of the dinner, Sean goes in and talks to her, says, my parents would love to meet you, and I would love to bring you back home. He's super confident. He leaves thinking, that's it. It's mine. It's mine. Tanner's going home. He's a great guy, but he's going home. Meanwhile, Tanner is like, listen, what happens is up to me. Like, I decide I decide how I'm gonna react to this. I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna open up. So he goes in with an open heart. He talks about his last relationship, how she ghosted him, and how that has now made him put his walls up, and that he would really love to take her home to Pittsburgh, grab a pair of manis. After she talks to the two of them, she still has no idea of what she's gonna do. She goes in, she has the rose there, and she says, I'm not going to hand a rose out right now. Tanner is smiling because Tanner was counting himself out. He was like, well, listen, Sean got a strong connection. What am I gonna do? Until he decided not to give up. So he was happy that he still had a chance in it. Sean, on the other hand, was real pissed. He was upset because he's real confident in his connection. He can see a future with her. How can I be with somebody who can't see a future with me, who's not confident with me? Don't you know who my father is? I'm pissed. And he was real pissed about it. Listen, he was like a little brat. He didn't get his way. He's used to always getting his way, and he didn't get his way. And he was pissed about it. So listen, be pissed. So next up, we had a one-on-one. Next one-on-one went to Dalton. Now listen, I was kind of confused about why the one-on-ones went to who they went to, because Dalton just had one before this, and Joey already had a one-on-one. I really thought that maybe she should have given them to, as much as I'm not a fan of Sean, maybe given it to Sean and given one to Tanner so she could spend more time with them. But listen, it's her roses to give out. She went on a one-on-one with Dalton. Aaron was pissed. Aaron, as we found out in the beginning, had spent a lot of time in New Orleans. He now lives in San Diego, I think it said. But when if he goes to the hometowns, he'll be bringing her home to Houston. But I guess he spent a lot of time there, and he was just pissed that she didn't give him the one in New Orleans. Oh well. Life goes on, shit happens, you got to deal with it. So for the one-on-one with Dalton, they do the Crescent City fun run. He was real game. He put on the tutu, and listen, I love the two of them. I'm always rooting for Pittsburgh to win. So for Tanner, however, I'm going to tell you, I could see them completely together, because I can see them doing things that are everyday things. And I mean, I can see them doing the extravagant things, but I can just see them doing like day-to-day things and making it fun. I really like the two of them. I'm going to tell you, I liked Joey and her together. However, listen, if Dalton doesn't take this whole thing and he's not the one standing at the end, I'll be kind of pissed. I'm going to say we ride a dawn if Dalton doesn't win, because I just love them, seeing them together. They went to dinner, and then Dalton was basically like, he said in the past he felt like a failure, and he then said feels like he doesn't deserve this fairy tale. Oh my God, I was crying. It really got to my heart. And then he said his heart saying one thing and his head is saying, don't say that, put your guards up. But he followed his heart, and he said he's falling in love with her. And she said she's falling in love with him. And I just love these two so much. This is the couple that has to make it at the end. Charity and Dalton. So back at the hotel, Sean once again is wondering why Joey and Dalton got the 2 one-on-ones, but he's gotten none so far. He needs some validation. He hasn't gotten any validation. Okay, here comes the next date card. Is it a one-on-one? No. It's a group date with the 4 men. It's Aaron, Xavier, Sean, and Tanner. Dalton comes home with the rose, and he's so happy. He has the rose on. He's telling everybody about what they did. Of course, Aaron can't even let him have his time. He has to interrupt and make sure he starts talking about New Orleans. And Sean can't even stay in the room. Sean gets up and he walks out. He's basically going into a tailspin after he finds out, about this date, and then Dalton. He's going into a tailspin because he hasn't had this validation. So Sean and who was it? Xavier is like, I can tell he really likes Charity. I'm afraid at what he's gonna do. Like, what are you gonna do? My thought was like, is he going to just self-eliminate himself is he just gonna yeet himself from this competition? So Sean takes matters into his own hand. He goes down to Charity's room, and he starts off by saying, I was just checking in on you, wanted to see how you're doing. Bullshit. You were not. You were trying to get a jump on everybody. You were not. You don't give a shit about how she was doing. You're caring about yourself, and if you're going to stay in this competition. So then he says, I want to know where I stand with you. Because he feels a real big connection to her, but he hasn't gotten a one-on-one, and he hasn't gotten any validation. And she says that she says, well, I didn't give out a rose before because I want to do what's right for me. I want to feel it. I want to make sure I'm making the right decision. And then he says, then he pulls this bullshit and says, oh, I respect you for doing that. I respect you for listening to yourself and doing what you need to do for you. I respect that. But then still pushes himself on her of like, I really care and I can see us together and this and that. And then she starts to talk, and we know what's coming. We know it's going to be, listen, I'm going to yeet ya, and sorry, goodbye. And even when she starts to say that, he still pushes and refuses to accept that she is not feeling this and that he's gone to the very end. So she says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to, I can't give you a rose. I'll walk you out. Walks him out, and then he tries to make it look like he's crying. Listen, I thought once Braden was gone that there was gonna be nobody else left for me to just like not detest, but a new candidate has come in Sean. So Sean gone. Sean is gone. So the group date comes out. I'm going to tell you, going into this, I predicted it to be Aaron and Xavier getting out of this and getting roses. Aaron talks to her and says everything that he was saying to everybody else, that he is frustrated that he didn't get the one-on-one, in New Orleans. With Tanner. Now with Tanner, I can't remember what she even said, but I'm going to be completely honest. Between the two of them, I feel more like it's a friendship. And that's a damn shame. I love Tanner, but I feel like there was more of a friendship between them. And Xavier says before he talks to her that he likes Charity. He wants to fall in love with her. And he wants to tell her who he is. He tells her that he's scared to commit all of himself just to one person and then have that fail. He only wants to do this once, where he commits to one person and gets married. I'm really thinking at that point, I'm like, wait, is she gonna pick Xavier? So she definitely picks Aaron, but then, he gets the rose, but then she holds off on making a decision again. She's talking, she's saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think she knew what to do. I just think she didn't want to hurt Tanner. And she goes to Tanner's room and she tells him that she is letting him go. Listen, I didn't pay that much attention because I was so excited that somebody from Pittsburgh was on that I was yelling, no, Tanner. I was just yelling that. So I didn't pay any attention to why she was letting him go. But he was very classy. I'm going to tell you what. He was, regardless of how you felt about their connection or whatever, I thought he was extremely classy. I thought he was classy the entire show, but I thought the way he handled it was just so classy of him. And I need for him, listen, producers are not going to see this, but producers, if anybody from ABC sees this, please put Tanner on the beach because he's built. He is a good looking guy and he is built. I need to see Tanner in some swim trunks and some all-togethers. That's what I need to see Tanner. Get on it. Bachelor in Paradise. So the last rose does go to Xavier. So next week is hometowns. So we'll see what happens. It looks like there could be some drama with the family. So tell me what you think. Tell me who you think is going to be in the final two. I think the final two is going to, I definitely feel like Dalton is going to be in the final two. And before this, I thought that it might be Joey as well, but I don't know. So let me know what you thought. And if nobody told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. Take care of one another. If you're someplace where it is triple digit heat, please stay hydrated. Please do not go outside if you do not have to. Please stay safe. And I will see you tomorrow for Claim to Fame recap. And I love you guys. Bye, guys.